there. Welcome to another edition of WTF, otherwise known as What the Flip, What the Frack, What the French Toast. And as always, this and other podcasts in the Jazzy Groove Rainy Day podcast family are brought to you by the power of five. If you like what we're doing, at the very least, hit the like button, show your love and support for the channel. Before we get started, once again, we mentioned this before, it's worth mentioning again. We got a collab coming. Details are still sketchy because I'm waiting for the other person to reach back out to me and let me know what's going on. But it was had its beginnings in one of our podcasts. They like what we were doing, wanted to collab. We agreed to it, and we're working on making it happen. So as I get more information in, I'll pass it on to you guys, and hopefully we make some history. Also, I'm going to be AFK, away from the keyboard, for the next few days, as I have to go in for a procedure tomorrow, and that's going to do it for me for at least the next 3 to 5 days. I should be back on Monday and get you back into things and ease my way back into it, and hopefully keep you guys entertained as well as informed. And now, on with the podcast. This podcast, it's all about delusion. Naked, unadulterated, borderline insanity style delusion. And I don't understand where modern day women get this. Actually, no. Full disclosure, I know where it comes from. And if you really think about it, you do too. Sure, we pretend like we don't know, but we know. And how do we know? We know because we help perpetuate it. That's right, I said it. We help perpetuate the modern day myth and stereotype that women are special. Are they special? No. Not in the sexual relationship dating way. Each and every person on this planet is special in their own way. That is true. But women today tend to conflate that. They tend to think if I'm special because I'm unique in things that I say and do and feel, that's got to carry over to everything else because I am special. And I'm here to tell you, no, you ain't. I'll tell you for nothing. No, you're not. And I'll shout it from the rooftops if I have to. Not that you're going to hear me. Because you see, I was thinking the other day, what truly are we going to do about dating and relationships in today's society? And as I've stated on previous podcasts, nothing. We've gone over the edge already. We're in free fall. It isn't if we hit the ground, it's now when we hit the ground. So when we hit the ground, how many pieces will be left for people to pick up? How many? I can tell you from practical experience, that my generation was the last generation of people who truly, truly felt positive about getting married and having a family, stuff like that. In my own family, there are four of us, and I'm the only one left. Sure, my brother's getting married later on this year, but another brother is a confirmed bachelor, and my sister is gonna be alone. It is what it is. So now I can already hear people saying, "Well, then, well then, what do you know? How can you speak about it?" Easy. As I said before, in case you weren't listening, remember, listen. You have two ears and one mouth for a reason. Listen. And the simple truth of the matter is that I took my vows very, very seriously. As I've stated in previous podcasts, I have never dated just to date. I always dated with the end goal of being married. I always got into thinking, she seems nice. Could she be the one? She seems sweet. Could she be the one? And then I found out much later on in life that I did a lot of things that red pill creators and content creators and things like that tell you to do. I vetted the females I dated. And up until the last one, which happens to be my wife, they failed. For a myriad of reasons. Did I have something to do with it? Probably. I'm sure that on some level, I could take the blame for the all falling apart. Looking at it through my lens, no. But looking at it objectively, I'm sure you could find fault. And again, that's me simply taking account, or accountability, I should say, for what I've done. Hands up, you did it. It's your fault. But people are going to be people. And now you've got it in a such state that men are opting to either leave the country to find their own way around, or they're opting out altogether, which can't be good for women because, as we've stated also in other podcasts, women crave attention with the end result of commitment from a man. But if men are checking out and opting out, where are they getting it? And it all comes back to the conflation of sexual attraction and romantic intention. Every man on this planet who is straight will give a woman sexual attraction at some point. I don't care what you look like. You can be butt ugly. But if no one's around to see it, you'll do the deed and disavow it. Because sex for men is like an itch you just can't scratch. You know it's there. It's annoying as heck. You can't eventually satisfy the itch, but you're going to get it back real soon. And then you're right back to trying to satisfy the scratch again. Conversely, on a woman's side, it's attention. You could have the man of your dreams, but you suffer from FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. What's going on over there? Ooh, he seems nice. I wonder what would happen if I got with him. So we each have problems that we bring to a relationship. Women tend to curve guys overtly. I don't like you. I have a boyfriend. I just want to be friends. Does it hurt? Absolutely. But the man knows. And after a few moments of sadness, excuse me, he'll bounce back and try again with someone else. Women get curbed covertly. You don't know. You don't see it coming. And when it does happen, when you finally do realize it, you invested so much time, so much energy, so much effort into the relationship that you come off being feeling very bitter and very betrayed. What's the number one reason for relationships failing? We're going to tell you cheating. I'm telling you no. Women break up with men because of irreconcilable differences, excuse me. And can't nobody out there tell me exactly what that means. Because it means different things to different people. Textbook dictionary, when it comes to disagreements that you can't see eye to eye on, that's irreconcilable differences. What does it mean to the everyday woman? Anything. Literally anything. I don't like the way he brushes his teeth. He's too nice. He's a cheater. And let's touch on this cheating thing real quick. Again, and I can't believe I have to say this because I'm sick of saying it. But I will continue to say it for as long as I can talk to you guys. I do not condone or approve of cheating. Does it happen? Yes. Are all men capable of it? Yes. Does it happen with everybody? No. And I've been told that a lot of that has to do with choices. Shout out to the great Chris Rock, who said that men are as faithful as their options. He said it first. Men are only as faithful as their options. The more options that a man has, the more likely he's inclined to cheat. Which is a real nice way of saying, if your man is ugly, he'll be faithful. It's not right. It's not kind. It's not fair. It's not just. It's not real. It's not expected. I could go on and on and on about what it's not. But I will tell you what it is. And what it is a fact of life. It is biologically hardwired into us as men. I'll be right back. What? You heard me in the thing. Don't stop knocking.
Sorry, it's just that I'm just curious about something.
Quickly, because I'm on the podcast.
Okay. So, um, when are we going to Six Flags? Just curious about that.
Probably next Sunday.
Okay, that's the only question I had. I'm sorry for interrupting your podcast.
That's okay. And tomorrow we're doing this. We're doing a podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, have fun with your podcast.
Okay. And we're back. Oh, excuse me. We're going to take a look at someone who is as flabbergasted about it as me. And it just is what it is, and we don't know. And shout out to Brava and the Culture Club USA cast and peoples over there in the great state of New York. My hometown, by the way. I'm Queens. She's Manhattan. She's city. I'm suburbs, but we're still from the same 5 boroughs. It's New York City, state of New York. Shout out to everybody up there, all 9 million of you. Oof. And this one is going to be about a feminist choosing a bear over a man. You heard it right. Feminist chooses a man over a bear. This is the classic. You're in the woods in a 10-foot room with the bear and the man. Both random. You don't know either. Don't know any of them. Which one would you feel safer with? So here we go.
Men are. It's very simple.
Logically, it makes no sense to choose the bear also because the bear doesn't speak English. How are you communicating with the bear? Oh, 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 oh,
I love this character. I love this chick. To say she's funny is an understatement. Let's continue.
oh. Now maybe if I was Daisy, maybe Daisy can do this because Daisy no panda. Daisy no panda bear. Now I communist China. I work for CCP. You put party, okay? I know panda bear. I communicate with bear all the time. Okay? How you think I got fresh? How you think I how you think? Okay? You see bear, you sit down, you say, he go get you food, he bring you back. That's how that works. But
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Shout out to Debrava. Oh, HMU, hun. HMU.
you stupid American because you dumb. You don't know nothing. That's how I came here and did what I did. And now I be in Communist Chinese Party high up now. My family very important now in China. Okay? I put all kinds of spyware inside. Because we know you two people stupid. Of course you choose bear. I know how to talk to bear. You dumb American girl. You know nothing. You have to choose man. Man gonna eat you too. You stupid.
Oh man, that's on one of her tirades. If you're not watching Culture Club, there's going to be a link to it below here. After you finish this video, you need to watch. If you watch 2 videos from 2 different content creators, my recommendations are Fresh and Fit and Culture Club USA. Comedy gold. Let's get back.
Hello, America, FBI and CIA agents, and fellow cult members. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm Dubrava, and today's riddle is: Behold, a dark forest. In chimes the king, the revenant. The emperor is fully clothed, a crown of thorns on to behold. The maiden walks the path, a red cloak adorns her frame, as tall tales of wicked dames poisoned her mind onto this game. Because the forest knows no friends, as the revenant sharpens his teeth, the wild knows no sins, as foolish souls meet their defeat. Okay, on today's episode of OnlyFans on Trial, we are going to dive into a trending topic where women were asked, would they rather be stuck in the forest with a man they don't know or a bear? Yes, I said a bear.
Told you. Told you.
Let's dive in.
Well, here's what I've got. For the first one, she thinks that 33 million men, 33 million men would want to, and somehow do horrible things to you, which would include murder. The second one's 55 million men, by your estimate, would want to.
And just in case, which I'm sure most of you know who the Crucible is, or Andrew Wilson, he is running the show over there at whatever. Now, this is going to be very interesting with him debating these women on this particular subject, don't you think? Okay, I digress.
Would want to do something horrible to you in that situation. The other one's estimates were still beyond high, but you really think that 33 million men in the United States want to murder you in a forest if they could? Like, rock.
That's a very interesting question. It's a question that I can answer quite emphatically. And that answer is no. No, we don't. And I know 2 reasons why we don't. First reason, and the most important reason, is because those men, the overwhelming majority, 80% of those men, are invisible to the average woman, not the pretty woman, not the gorgeous woman, not the show-stopping woman, not the 10, not the 9, not the 8, and then won't even go 10 because there's no such thing as a 10, but not the 9, not the 8, not the 7, the 4, 5, and 6. I'm not saying it's meh. I'm not saying it's I'm saying it's ew. Oh my God, no. So that automatically filters out 80% of those guys, closer to 90. And the other 10% are so busy trying to get laid that they're going to do things that are contrary to their nature just to get laid. I say it again for those who didn't hear me in the back. The other 10% is so busy trying to get laid that they'll say and do whatever they need to make that happen, aka simping. Now, in the um in the realm of total transparency, I have been online and I have said that all men simp at some point, and I stand by that. But you got to know when to stop. You got to know when you're fighting a losing battle. Chalk up your losses, pick up the pieces, and move on. Too many guys out there don't know. Or, more to the point, don't care. And that's where we as guys get into trouble. A woman says no, okay. Don't get upset about it. Don't feel any kind of way about it. Tip your hat and walk away. Because that action in and of itself is going to get the woman curious. I got all these guys sweating me, but he's not. Why is that? Which goes to another podcast that I did. Never let him see you sweat. Ever. That is the first rule of being a gentleman. Be a gentleman, but don't show it. Be cordial, be kind, be polite, and leave it at that. Make her earn it. Unless she really likes you, in which she'll show you off rip what it's like. And I know that because that's how my wife and I got together. But I digress. Let's get back into it.
Honestly, do you think that?
Like, the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that as women, we are kind of conditioned to.
Hold on a second. He's already smoking a cigarette. I mean, this is a episode in progress already, right? But I mean, can you imagine what went on earlier? He's already smoking. Okay, this I cannot wait to get into. Okay, because this girl here, just by the sound of her voice, we can already see where this is going.
Spoiler alert. Me no likey. Me no likey at all. Back to it.
Would have forced if they could? Like, honestly, do you think that?
Like, the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that as women, we are kind of conditioned to fear the idea of getting attacked by a man and be afraid of that. And so our estimate would be high because we already think the probability of getting attacked would.
And there you go. I think it's going to happen to me because it happens to my friends. Which is womanese speak for I feel like it's going to happen because it happens to everybody else. And again, I qualify that by saying it happens to you. Doesn't happen to her. Doesn't happen to her. But because you're hive-minded and you all speak with one voice, it translates to everybody. It doesn't fit everybody. One size does not fit all. But you wouldn't know that because that's not the way you've been taught to think. And you've been taught. You've been taught to think that way. Let's get back into it.
Would be high given that women are not necessarily safe when they walk alone. I think that's where the misconception is.
Wait a minute. Boy, this just gets more and more interesting. As the days go on, these podcasts get more and more interesting, okay? Let me just get this straight. This girl here is saying that women are conditioned to be in fear of being attacked by men if they walk alone. Like, look, okay, I live in New York City, okay? And, no matter where you are in New York City these days, okay, there's stuff going on, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that you're just walking around in fear. Like, this is where we've gotten. These talking points, these feminist talking points have gone so far beyond out of control, it's ridiculous.
Preach, Deborah, preach. Deborah speaks no lies. I too grew up living in New York City. And there's always something going on. But being a city dweller, you learn very, very quickly what to pay attention to and what to ignore. One of the first things that newcomers are taught when they come to the city, don't look up. Which is a very hard thing to do because of the scale of everything. The skyscrapers in New York City are impressive. Manhattan should be, we can call that skyscraperville, because that's pretty much what dominates them. The New York City skyline is iconic. There isn't another city like it in the world in terms of the skyline. And the first thing they teach you is don't look up. Because there'll be people looking at you. If you look up, they know you're a mark and they're going to come for you. Let's get back into it.
I think that's where the misconception is.
Yeah, doesn't that seem to you to be illegitimate though? If your estimates are so high that you believe that as many as 55 million men in your native nation would just murder you in a forest if they happen to be alone with you? I mean,
okay, so
I think that kind of conditioning might be a little bit absurd.
That's funny, mildly. That's beyond absurd. That's stupid. That is straight up stupidity. That is stereotyping an entire species of human to suit your narrative. Never mind the fact that most of them aren't even looking at you. And the ones that are looking at you, they want to sex you. They don't want to kill you. Is there a subset that might want to? Yes. But that statistically speaking is minute. So, no. No, no, no.
I'll retract my estimate if it bothers you, but
It doesn't bother me. It's simply not true. And here's where they should be getting pushback. Let's see if Andrew provides any.
I would say that.
Well,
Like,
Oh my God. Okay, this girl's already on my nerves, okay? Here we go with that.
Here, here.
You know those little annoying links that's little, like, you just want to, like, why would you say that? I'll retract my statement or my estimate if it bothers you. I cannot stand that type of rhetoric. So I'll.
There we go. I didn't say it. I thought I said it, but Brian didn't say it. Andrew didn't say it. DeBravo did. Hats off to DeBravo. You got your A game on today, girl, and I'm liking what I'm hearing.
Retract my statement just to make you happy, but that doesn't mean I mean it.
That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. I still believe it, but if it makes you feel better, then I'll take it back. Doesn't change anything that I think. Ugh. Ugh.
Still mean what I said. I'm not really retracting it. I'm just saying it to make you happy. Oh,
Ta-da! And there it is. That's what I'm saying. Like mine's the brother, like Mike, like mine's.
will that appease you? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
I can stand by the fact that, like, maybe there's an
why would you retract it
overinflated
because it
estimate,
bothers
but
me? Wouldn't
Thank you, Andrew.
you
well, you
retract
seem
it
a little
because
bothered,
you don't
that's why.
believe? Yeah, wouldn't you retract it though because you don't actually believe that 55 million men in your native nation would murder you horribly if they were in a forest with you?
You're right. I think that it was inaccurate, but I'm saying that even though it was inaccurate, I'm speaking to the inaccuracy and saying the reason why was because lots of women fear being attacked by men.
No. No. Just no. Because you didn't answer the question, which is a common theme amongst modern women of today. You go on these pods, they ask questions, but you don't answer them. So you don't, expecting no pushback whatsoever. And you have the nerve to get mad when there is pushback. And that comes back to the believe all women bull crap. I'm not going to believe all women because they've done nothing for me to make me believe that. I'm going to reserve judgment till I got the whole thing, at least as much of it as people will know. And then I'll mull it in my head. I'll think about it. I'll ponder it. I will form opinions. I will then come to a conclusion, and then I'll let you know how I feel. Or more importantly, what I think, because that feel stuff doesn't work here. Do I have feelings? Yes, I do. But for the most part, I'm a creature of logic. I was a Vulcan before Vulcans were cool. Shout out to Star Trek. Let's get back.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's very justified that they fear that.
Are you a woman?
When we start talking about the actual, do I need to be a woman to note if it's justified by the numbers whether you should fear that or not? I don't understand.
I don't
Shouldn't I
think
be
this
able
is
to
a
use my
numbers game.
logical brain even if I don't have a vagina to take note as to whether?
That's a real good question. That's a question that you already know the answer to, but it doesn't fit your narrative, so you don't know it. You already know the answer. But because it doesn't jive with what you're saying, you choose to ignore it. Did I get it right? Do I get my cracker now?
This is so difficult. Crucible. I mean, first of all, everybody that gets around him has no choice. No choice but to throw the "you're not a female" nonsense on him. What?
Got news for you, Debrava. If you're male, you get it. You just hear about him the most. But if you're a guy speaking on these things, you're going to hear about it. Are you a woman? No, I'm not. Then how can you speak about it? Because I'm looking at a totality of it from a logical standpoint. Where are you coming from?
Well, how would you know you're not a woman? I mean, when did common sense just flee out the door? Okay.
I'm sorry for stopping it so much, but the woman's cooking. The woman is cooking. Common sense. Coming soon to a podcast near you. That's a sister one over here, Jazzy Groove Rainy Day Podcasting family. but common sense. So rare, it ought to be considered a superpower.
Okay? When did women lose all common sense? 55 million men. If you're alone in the forest, 55 million men are going to kill you if you're alone with the forest. That's the likeliness. And by the way, if women were in constant fear of being attacked, you would never see women out doing anything at any time, anywhere.
Yes, this is very, very true. Very, very true. Because common sense would dictate to you, if these guys are out to get me, I'm going to stay inside where it's safe. But they don't. Because society has been geared for them. And we are victims of our own success. We've tried for so long to placate their egos, to massage their sensibilities, to show them that, yes, we do appreciate you, that we've gone overboard. And now we're suffering the consequences of it. And as has been also stated, shout out to Pearl, shout out to Myra, shout out to Walter, shout out to Andrew, shout out to DeBravo, shout out to anyone who said this before. All it takes is for men one day to wake up and say, enough. And it goes back to the way it was. Now, will that happen? More than likely, no, because on the woman's side, she's tasted it. She's tasted freedom, and she's not willing to give it up without a fight. And men realize that we do need women to continue the species. Women, they're not inclined to think as much. This video is 1 minute, 1 hour, 13 minutes. It is comedy gold. Again, it's below in the comment section. You need to check into it. But it also, it's just a small smidgen of the phenomenon we call delusion, where women will say and do anything because they think that there's going to be no pushback. And I'm here to tell you, we're pushing back. There's only so much BS we can take before we go, wait a minute, hang on. No, that's wrong. That is wrong. And it's wrong because XYZ. And with that, we've come to the end of another one. Thank you all for watching us. Again, there will be a collab in the coming days and weeks coming ahead. We'll let you know as we get more information in. And we'll be taking a hiatus for the rest of the week as I get over my impending procedure. With that being said, until the next, this is OBJ. Peace, y'all.